Hey everybody, welcome back to another Meaningful Monday. My name is Drew B. Harrell, and today we are talking about how to be an effective accountability partner. In today's world, it's really common for us to not really keep our word to ourselves. That's a different conversation for another time. But we've talked about that in other videos, actually. Me and he in our chat with coaches, I talked about it separately as well in terms of being able to keep your word to yourself and really set aside time for you and time that you need to do to take care of yourself and either whether run errands or just be mindful of your time and kind of engage in some self-care. But one great practice that a lot of the best people out there, a lot of the most successful people out there, I should say, not the best people, but the most successful people, uh, one thing that they do really well is have accountability partners or build accountability teams. And it's a really great practice to be able to be a great accountability partner, because then people will seek you out for that purpose. And then you can help them and kind of go back and forth and really trade offers like that. So how do you actually do that? What does it mean to be an accountability partner? Accountability partners are one of the most powerful ways to be successful and to set goals for yourself. When you set a goal, it's often great to have someone else and another person to bounce those ideas off. Now, when you have a coach, that's accountability partnership built into that relationship. But not everyone can afford a coach. So if you can't afford a coach, if you're in a situation where you're just you have a group of people that you get together for a mastermind group that you create yourself, you don't necessarily need to join an external one. You can create one, right? And that built into the, again, in mastermind groups is that accountability aspect of it. And to be a good accountability partner, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. One is when you're talking about accountability you're talking about accountability for the other person, and you're helping them to be say accountable to themselves and to you. And the way you do that is by helping them to set clear, really, really clear goals. We talked before about SMART goals, right? Or smarter goals, as I like to call them. So specific, meaningful goals, goals you can hold yourself accountable to, related to whatever the overall idea is that you want to accomplish, and then time boxed. So there's this clear due date at the end of that goal that when the goal is due, right? That's what a SMART goal is. So as an accountability partner, you really going to help that person, your accountability partner, to set those SMART goals and really establish those things in a very clear and concise way. So it's very clear what the success criteria are, when that person has to get their stuff done, how they're going to hold themselves accountable, both with you and with others. And then one question that a lot of people don't necessarily ask is, how do you want me to hold you accountable for this? And that's a really powerful question to ask for a couple of reasons. One, there's not one size fits all when it comes to people and how they accomplish things and how they do, whatever they set out to do. There's a million different ways to get things done, right? What's important is that the thing gets done properly, and two, that thing that person's working on is important to them and meaningful to them. So once you have those things set up, how you hold them accountable is really up to them. And you holding them accountable by your standards is not necessarily going to be helpful for them. Some people like a text message, to check in, like, hey, how's this going? You can do that on a daily basis. You can do that on a weekly basis, right? Depending on how far out the goal is, what the goal due date is. But some people just like a once a week type thing. Some people want to have meetings on a regular basis to kind of discuss things and talk through them, how you're actually doing this. How are things coming along? What are the challenges that they're running into? And really kind of make it into more of an ongoing active partnership, right? There's so many different ways that I can't go through all of them right now. But keep that in mind when you're trying to be accountability partners with someone and try to help them to really achieve what they want to achieve. So ask that question. It's really powerful to be able to say and act on this and say, how do you want me to hold you accountable? And then really act on that and really be there for that person. That's truly meeting them where they are. The other thing you can do is to set up that goal with them and make sure that it actually is meaningful to them, right? Go one level deeper. Too many people are just leave it at what's your goal for this month? Okay, cool. Moving on. No, dig a little deeper. Why do you want to accomplish that? Or ask the questions that they may not want to answer for themselves. Hey, this goal has been you've been tracking this goal for like 5 months now, and you always keep punting it to the next month. How important is this really, or what's really getting in your way? Those are the kind of questions that a coach would ask. But this is going to be you in a situation where that person can't necessarily afford a coach or doesn't have a coach right now. So you're kind of acting instead of that coach. You're playing the role of coach for this person. So you want to dig that level deeper and be really, really helpful for them to say, hey, I'm noticing this pattern here. How do we get you out of this funk? How do we get you to really achieve this goal if it's really meaningful for you? And if you haven't achieved, if you haven't really made any progress in 5, 6, 7 months, how important is it really to you? Is it really that important to you? Or is it just a matter of time? It's something where you have other priorities right now that are much higher, And maybe it's worth setting other goals in the meantime to get that whatever you're working on to a certain level that matters for you, that's success enough in that area that you can now shift your focus on this other thing that you've been trying to do for a while. That can be really interesting and really great for someone to realize, because they may not always see it that way. They may not be thinking about it that way, and they may not have thought that level deeper to understand for themselves how meaningful is this for me right now. The last thing I would say as accountability partners, I can't talk today, I apologize. Last thing you can do as an accountability partner is really just be there and don't be afraid to be vulnerable with that person, right? And what I mean by that is not just, I don't mean talking about your life story and, crying with them. Although if that's what they need, then great. But what I mean by that is really be there with them and share with them some challenges you might be having around the same things as well. Accountability goes both ways. And if you're sharing your goals with them as well and telling them how to be accountable to you, you have an opportunity to demonstrate how to be an accountability partner or how you want them to be accountable to you, so they can understand that, okay, this is what's okay in this relationship. This is how it works to be an accountability partner. By training people by example, you're training more people around you to be accountability partners, to be good accountability partners. And you're training your mastermind group, your small group, whether it's one person, 5 people, or you don't want to have too many people in that group. But I would say not more than like 10 or 12. You don't want to have too big of a group that one, because then it just gets to be unwieldy. But you're training that small group of people on how to be a good accountability partner for you, and showing them how to actually evaluate people and tell people how to be accountability partners for them as well. There's not, like I said, there's not one right way to do it, but these are just some things to keep in mind, some ideas and some strategies for being a good accountability partner that allows you to be flexible and while still holding people accountable to whatever they want to accomplish. So in summary, you want to make sure you're asking the questions that they don't necessarily want to ask, but start by asking how you can be an effective accountability partner for them. There's no one universal way to be an accountability partner, and there's no way you have to be an accountability partner, but there are general themes like asking how, being there for that person, meeting them where they're at, and then at the end of the day, training them by example of how to be a good accountability partner around anyone. Because then after that point, they can be a good accountability partner for anyone that they work with, anyone that they interact with, and they're going to be in demand. Because frankly, good accountability partners, they're pretty slim pickings these days. So make sure you pick them well. Make sure that if you find someone who you think has potential to be a good accountability partner, talk with them about it, right? Let them know what you're looking for in accountability partners. Interview them the way you would interview a coach or an employee or something like that, because at the end of the day, they're serving you and you're also serving them. Make sure that you're a good fit for them as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful for you guys. If you have questions or comments or success stories around accountability, please feel free to post them below. I'd love to hear about how you do accountability, how you've been accountable to others, and how you help them to be accountable to you. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a great week, and talk to you soon.